What's up, aviators? My name is Steven. I am a private pilot. Today we're actually in a Cessna 172. This configuration is slightly different. It is the G1000, Garmin G1000 displays. You guys are used to 6-pack, which are these instruments down here. They basically do the same. I'm going to point out stuff from the airspeed and altimeter. They're also right here on the strips, airspeed, altimeter, and that's basically it. This is your heading indicator right here, and then you got your magnetic compass. And so today we're doing a traffic pattern. That is where we are doing a rectangle box around the airport to practice landings, and that is what I'm doing today. I'm going to be practicing landings. And so before we start, the traffic pattern has 4 to 5 legs. There's 5 legs, even though there's 4 sides to it. There's a runway. We're taking off runway 31, as you can see, 31 right at Alpha, which is going to be that way. That is going to be the upwind. Once we take off, that is the upwind. We're going to make a right turn or a left turn, depending on if we are parting on 31 right or 31 left. If it's on the right, we'll do a right turn. Left, 31 left, left turn. The left turn is going to be called a crosswind turn. So we're going to be doing a crosswind. Then we're going to do another turn either to the left or the right, down opposite direction of the runway. That's going to be your downwind turn. Then you're going to be over there. You're going to turn. You can turn towards the runway, like turn inwards. That's going to be your base leg. It's going to be a left or a right turn towards the base leg. Then you're going to turn towards the runway and line up for the runway, and you're going to be landing. And that's going to be called your final leg. So you got your upwind, crosswind, downwind, base, and final. Those are your 5 different legs that we're going to be doing. So we're going to go ahead, and I finished the run up already. We started cold and dark. We taxied over here. We did our run up, and so we're actually going to taxi. We're going to request to enter the runway, because if you remember from our last video, our last lesson, that is the whole short bars right there. That is the whole short bars right there. The whole shorts are basically 4 yellow lines. 2 of them are solid, 2 of them are dashed. If on the solid side, you cannot cross to the other side without permission, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to ask for permission, and we're going to take off. Of course, before you take off, flaps are up, your trim is set in the middle for takeoff, your mixture goes full rich, your landing light comes on, your strobe comes on, your nav remains off unless you're flying at night. Remember, your beacon should be on since your engine is running. One last thing before we take off is your heading bug. In the 6-pack, you turn a little orange knob, and it'll be an orange. In the G1000, is a blue knob. You want to set to your runway heading. We're taking off runway 31, so it's 310. As you can see, 310. Verified right there, 310. It is pointing 310. When we line up, we also want to see 310 on our magnetic compass. The heading bug is really useful, and I'll show you why after we take off. We're going to switch over to tower frequency. Brakes are off. We're going to taxi towards the runway. This is my airport diagram. I'm going to turn that off. We don't need that anymore. Remember, pedals to steer, throttle to go forward, and these are the whole short lines are right here. And we request for clearance. Reid-Hillview Tower, Sky 55231, holding short and steering right at Alpha, ready for close pattern.
Skyhawk 55231, Reid-Hillview Tower, cross runway 3 and right, hold short runway 3 and left.
Cross 3 and right, hold short 3 and left. Skyhawk 55231. So he gave us a clearance to cross 3 and right. No delay, 55231. And he gave us a clearance to cross. And you notice up front there's 2 more hold short bars. We're on the dashed line, dashed side we can cross. And this is the solid side, we're not allowed to cross. And we hold right here till we get our clearance. He wanted us to go 3-1 left. This is 3-1 left, the other one's 3-1 right we just crossed. And because we just crossed 3-1 left, we're going to be holding here. And we're doing a left pattern since it's 3-1 left. Since this is 3-1 left, we're going to be doing left pattern.
Skyhawk 231, make left close traffic, runway 3 and left, clear for takeoff.
Left close traffic, runway 3 and left, clear for takeoff, 55231. It will be left turns this time. Landing light on, strobes on, nav set, nav is off, mixture in, takeoff, trim set, flaps are up. Get on the runway.
Cessna 0 Alpha November, right when able.
And you line up with the runway. Once you're ready, go full throttle.
November 4 Juliet Sierra, runway 3
Thrust
and
is
left.
set. Engines are indicating green. Airspeed's alive. You're at 55, rotate upwards. Now you want to continue on this upwind leg until you get to 500 feet above the ground. If you notice, we actually start at a little over 100 feet. So 100 plus 500 for us is going to be 600. So we won't be doing any turns until we get to 600 feet. In fact, we can actually bug that. 600. Once we get to 600, we're doing a left crosswind this time. Alright, check our left wing. It's cleared. Are you past 600? Make a start left turn. Now this is where the heading bug comes into use. When you know when to roll out when your heading bug's on this side. That's when you're going to be at your crosswind leg. There we are, and roll out.
And video tower, Cub 72, Shell, 3 miles.
Cub 72 Hotel, runway 3 on right.
Now we're going to turn left downwind.
Right, clear to land, Cub 72, Shell.
We're now turning left downwind. Also, we should level about 1,000 feet above the ground. Remember, we started at 100 feet, so 100 plus 1,000 is 1,100. We're at 1,300. We'll descend slightly right now. This is called the downwind leg, guys. We're now on the downwind leg. As you can see, the heading bug is actually pointing down since that's the opposite direction. That's where we took. That's the direction we took off.
Skyhawk 231, runway 3 on left, clear for the option.
2 on left, clear for the option. Skyhawk 231. Now you want to fly downwind for a while because remember you have to line up for the runway when you're inbound. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fly out a tiny bit. When you feel comfortable, I want you to reduce your power to 1,500 RPM. We're at 1,600 right now. When you're at 1,500, drop flaps 10. And I want you to descend at 75 to 85 knots.
Reid-Hillview Tower, good morning. Cessna 2129, Charlie 1300 over IDM, inbound full stop.
Whenever you feel comfortable, you can start turning base. I'm going to turn base now. My left wing is cleared.
212 out.
And keep your descent down. At
Last thing, Reid-Hillview Tower, say again.
2129 Charlie over
at
IDM.
85 knots, that's slowing down a little bit.
Cessna 2129 Charlie.
Now to roll out when your heading bug is on the other side, at your 9 o'clock position. Now we roll out. Our airport off the left. Once you're on base leg, if you're under 85 knots, flaps 20 degrees. Keep descent coming. And when you see your PAPI lights, you want to turn final. Remember, our PAPI lights are the 4 reds. We're currently 4 reds, we're slightly too low. Actually, we are 3 red, 1 white.
2 hotel, traffic, left base for the parallel Cessna.
Okay, looking for drive, 72 Hotel, thanks.
4 red. Okay, there we go. 2 whites, 2 reds. We're exactly on glide path. Now we're going to align ourselves with the runway. And once we're on final, go flaps full. Where there's 30 degrees of flaps, 10, 20, and 30. Remember, your airspeed controls your altitude. Your pitch controls your airspeed. So I'm 65. You want to be coming in at 65 knots. I'm a little slow, so I'm going to pitch down. I'm a little too low, I'm going to put power in. We're going to hold 65. Slightly high, pull your throttle out. Remember, pitch controls airspeed, your throttle controls altitude. Now once you get to over the runway, you want to go throttle idle, and you want to slowly pitch up and let the airspeed bleed off when you're above the ground.
29 Charlie, runway 3 on left, clear to land.
3 on left, clear to land, 2129 Charlie.
Here we go. And that's how you land. And we're going to taxi off here at Charlie. Slow down, use brakes, slow down.
Skyhawk 231, hold short of Charlie. Correction, hold short of runway 3 right at Charlie.
Hold short 3 right Charlie. 520. There you go, guys. So now we're in between the hold short lines. We cannot cross as he did not give us permission to cross.
Cessna Bravo cross runway 3 right, hold short runway 3 on left.
3 on right, hold short 3 on left.
And that's basically a traffic pattern. And once we cross the runway, I'll tell you what to do next.
Skyhawk 231, cross runway 3 right at Charlie, contact ground.
Cross 3 right Charlie, contact ground, 521. Alright, we're crossing runway 3 on right.
contact 55231 Reid-Hillview ground, runway 31 right, taxi Yankee.
Yankee to 31 right, 55231. Alright, so we're now on the taxiway. We're taxiing back to 31 right at the beginning of the runway in order to do another traffic pattern. Your before landing correction, your after landing checklist calls for lean out your mixture a tiny bit, your flap comes up, and your landing light comes off, and you're using your taxi lights now. Strobe remains on unless you're at night. If you're at night and you get off the runway, you turn your strobes off because you don't want to blind out the pilot. And that is basically it. That's how you do a traffic pattern. You're now going to go back to the runway and do another traffic pattern. And if you're watching this video on the up and away, we're going to have one of our officers show you how to do it in the sim on a 6-pack. And our 6-pack basically looks like this: altimeter, airspeed, and remember, flaps 20, anything of 20, so 20 and 30 has to be in the white arc, 85 or below. That is basically it. Have a great day, guys.